Yeah, I'll post that. This funny guy though. He said we'll have a cuck party. You, me, Destiny. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, give me the link to the Patrick Little thing. What is this? Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Doesn't help when you say that you. Here's the thing though, Patrick, which I think is this is the problem. If you tell me I like what you did, that creates problems for me. Now for the rest of my life, I'll get us. Well, Patrick Little's a big fan of yours. What do you have to say about that? And it'll be a problem. And it comes down to
That's
I
an
don't
ad
know.
hominem. So are you going to
It's not
talk
an
about
ad
something
hominem.
of
That's
substance
not
and
an
just
ad.
call
An
me
ad
silly?
hominem would be
It sounds like Nick is being hella smug there by saying that to him, but he's he was he's not like he's so charitable to this fucking retard in this whole debate, and Nick is pretty much saying like you're making my movement look bad because it's not. I know Nick makes fun of people who say that. Oh, you're a snowflake. Like, oh, did I say the wrong word? But this guy's literally fighting people outside of fucking Israeli headquarters, bro. Like he was doing some Fed shit. So Nick is like, yeah, I don't want to really be linked up to you. Like, who the fuck goes up to some Jewish building and goes, hey, you're the problem on Earth. You guys are the problem. And then they come up, yo, chat, do you want to collaborate? You want to? Nobody would collaborate with that guy. What the fuck are you talking about? And he starts screaming, I'm courageous. You don't have the balls to go outside of a building and scream, fuck Jews. And I'm like, dude, are you retarded that you want to like collab with? And you know what's funny? The difference from him and Nick is he was more successful than Nick. He's an actual politician. Yeah, he's like a failed politician. It'd be so funny if I ever saw Nick as a real politician, though. It wouldn't be that funny, but because I have this fantasy in my head that Nick becomes president, and then he puts me in his cabinet as Secretary of Defense. That would be awesome, right? Actually, he'd put me as Secretary of Offense, right? Where I put the whole budget on attacking Israel. I'm kidding. This is comedy. Let's go.
a personal attack if I said like you vape and you look stupid when you vape. And ad hominem is not that. I'm saying that the problem with your whole idea, your whole premise, is that it is supremely ineffective for people that want to actually make a difference.
Who's your
And
target audience?
what's that?
Who's your target audience?
By the way, pause. One more thing I want to say to the people who talk shit about Nick. I'm pretty sure he gets it deep down. Like, guys, I can bet money on it, and I'll never talk to Nick privately about the flat earther. Not that I can see it in his eyes that he is a flat earther. I know the look, bro. The look is, it pretty much, it's the look that goes, oh, the Bible's not just paper. Like it's real, more accurate than NASA, more. Dude, I know the look. Andrew Tate, successful flat earther. There's so that jokes about it, like just like Nick. There's someone else. Tristan is an open flat earther, so he's cool. Who am I thinking of? Billionaires are flat earthers. Millionaires are not. Yeah, I just see it in Nick's eyes that I know he's a flat earther, like 100%. But it would damage his movement if he came out like that. Right? You just have to see the clip of Nick 2 years ago making fun of NASA, and he says some stuff that I'm glad that clip is gone because he says some stuff that's so accurate and yeah, but it would really not be healthy for Nick to be like me. Trust me on that. It's just you don't want to be labeled. Being labeled a flat earther, you lose more credibility than being labeled as an anti-Semite. Trust me.
The target audience, well, your target audience should have been the electorate in California. My target audience is the right wing, Americans in general. And I don't think you're going to reach them. Well, and it's not even, I think your message is fundamentally.
So I look at where I went. I went to Oakland. I went to lefties. I went to all sorts of places, and they fucking loved it.
How did that work, though? I mean, how did that work out? You got, what, 1.5% of the vote?
Well, every Islamic center in the state just about sent me the flyer I was holding up earlier. I've got people saying they're signing affidavits proving that there are far more votes than were counted for me. I've got Duterte saying there was massive election rigging with people being left off the voter rolls in Southern California. We've got Aaron Cruz, who got zero support, who openly went around saying "Goyim go die for Israel" as her campaign slogan. Supposedly getting 3 times as many.
Why would you Goyim go die is your campaign slogan? even in a world where you can talk about these topics, that wouldn't fly. Like, if there was no restriction on any topic on the internet, that still is a like call to action. Like, dude, there's no reality on Earth where humans are gonna let humans go actually pitchforking. These guys are so fucking stupid, bro.
Many votes flying around on a Learjet with 1 or 2 people to RSVP.
Like, dude, this guy's an adult.
Well, yeah, I mean, let me know how it goes, but the
let me know how it goes,
the ballot count as it stands.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, I didn't like debates that much. I used to watch Milo before Nick and like, all the gay guys and this Crowder. And then when I saw Nick's insult style is identical to how Albanians insult people or Donald Trump insults people, I was like, I'd only go back to Nick, not because of the Christianity thing, you know? I just like the traditional stuff. I wasn't really into Christianity. And then over time, I was like, oh shit. All my life problems come from a world where everyone's a whore. Like, in this world that Nick wants to build, that theocratic system, I wouldn't have I would have new problems. I wouldn't have these problems. I wouldn't have demonic problems. And then over time, you get older and you go, whoa, that world that he's trying to build that doesn't make sense to humans. Like, what do you mean get married at 16 and stuff like that? It's actually how the world went for thousands of years, bro.
Had you at 54,000, which is a high number, but then when you consider that it's in the state of California with millions and millions and millions of people, it's 1.5% of the vote. And it just didn't work. It didn't work.
What place? So let's assume those Jew numbers are correct. What place did I come in?
What did you come in, 12th or 10th?
12th. Okay, and that's without postal ballots, which is where a lot of my support was. How many people were running, Nick?
It was like 30 people.
32.
Hmm.
How much money did I spend?
12th out of 32nd. Tell me, Pat, what do you get for 12?
What
do you get for 12? Do you get
Hey Nick, how much did I spend?
I don't know how much.
Compare dollars for dollars. So Cruz spent
I love this is my favorite.
To talk to
I think it doesn't really matter so long as you don't get first place. I think everybody.
I understand that, Mr. Armchair General. What have you achieved in your life?
Armchair General.
What have you achieved?
Now that's an ad hominem attack. But see, we're not talking about me. We're talking about somebody who ran for Senate.
But it's so easy to
I would like to run
sitting
for
back
Senate.
and just being an online personality.
My job is
the hardest thing in the
Pause. Notice the secret Mossad door in the background. Nobody notices the hidden chamber. It's so fucking obvious. They didn't make it flush against the wall for him. It's so fucking did you know we can see your hidden door? Look at this shit. Patrick fucking dumbass little. Someone clip it and send it to him. It's so obvious. The renovation is so wrong. It's not even a brick wall. It's like pasting. The guy's a fucking idiot, man. Look at him pledging allegiance to Israel.
In the world to make fun of people, I know it. But going after naming the Jew and exposing...
Like, bro, imagine some dude is like, hey, I'm a part of your movement. We're critical of Israel and foreign aid. So we're going to help you by screaming, go die downtown. Like, is this not a double agent? How is Nick, this is where I thought Nick was not intelligent at all. I swear I would have left that call. I have paranoia, so I'd have been like, I'm not staying in this fucking call. Like, win the debate. I'm out of here, bro. This is your fucking game plan, and you're also, like, legitimate? Fuck out of here.
Exposing yourself to loss of risk.
You're a real hero.
Of, life and liberty. Yeah, no, let's go ahead and be coy here. I mean, what do you do?
No, I mean it. You're a real, you're great for that. Well, here, I want to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Nick is smiling because he knows the guy's a retard. And now that the guy insulted him first, Nick gets to go. Because Nick doesn't attack people first, ever. Dude, for years, if you watch him, he's never attacked people first, not even retards. There's this one time where he said, I don't know if I agree with Owen Benjamin on everything. And Owen just started fucking lighting him up. And then some people on the Owen side was saying Nick started that. That's not an insult. Like, he's never attacked first, which is weird because everyone thinks he's like some kind of Nazi attacking people first. Dude, he's even nice to gay dudes. Like, he did a fucking Milo interview. I would have slapped Milo. Kidding.
one detail. You were recounting your red pilling story, and I don't know if did I get this right. You said that somebody told you to read Culture of Critique. You asked for time off of work to read the book, and when
After
they
I
didn't
started
give it to
reading
you,
it, yes.
you
It
quit
turned
your
my
job?
world on its head. Yes.
So you quit your job to read Culture of Critique.
Well, I didn't quit it before I
It
started
changed
reading
his
it. I
life
quit it once I started
trajectory.
because I wasn't able to disprove a single thing wrong. It was turning my world on its head.
Now, so you quit your job because you read a couple of chapters of Culture of Critique and said, "This is so life-changing."
You get the sequel.
Yes, I dedicated my life to naming the Jew after that.
Now, do you mind me asking what you were working as before? Is that too personal, or can you say
No. I
that?
was a network engineer at a Y Combinator startup. My combined income with my tax-free was about 120 to 150, depending on how the equity gets valued.
See, I don't trust anybody who does this kind of a thing. I mean, you see this a lot in like mentally unstable people where they read a self-help
Dude,
book.
I just got out of
Or
the
they
fucking
read-
Marine Corps as a sergeant. You don't make E5 in the Marine Corps in less than 4 years unless you're together, my friend.
But
What a
do you-
bullshit. Hey,
you
Nick,
know many-
what's the hardest thing you've ever
You
done?
know, and do you
Nick,
know many
hey,
people who quit
come on
stable
down
jobs
from your
because
imaginary
they-
pedestal there. What have you ever done? You're what, 19?
Here we go. Yeah, I'm 19.
What's the
I graduated
hardest
high
thing
school.
you've ever done, Nick?
I graduated high school,
Come on,
but
big
here I
guy.
am with you. But here I am with you. I mean, do
Okay,
you understand? You're insulting, like where I am in life, but
Yeah.
you're on here
Well,
with
hold
me.
on. What's
and
the
how many
hardest
years
thing
older
you've
are
ever
you?
done, Nick? What's the
What's
hardest
that?
thing you've ever done? What's the
Hardest
thing
thing
you've
I've
ever
ever
done?
done.
Yeah.
That's a metaphysical question. Probably come around to God, possibly. but no, look.
Well, hold on. I'm
Wait,
walking
how old-
around. I'm
how
walking
old
around
are
with
you?
death
How
threats.
old are you?
Dude, Nick is so fucking smug and bad faith there. Because you're 19, you haven't gone through anything in life. So he's like, probably come around to God, which really doesn't even happen until you're at 24 is the most depressed men get. So he really just fucking lied to him right there. But at this point, he doesn't give a fuck, right? Yeah, because if Nick said what the hardest thing he's ever done is like what? Like at 19, nothing, right? He would have been stuck. But this is like such a grown-up answer. And I was like, I'm way older. So when I watched this, I was like, whoa, he's 19. That's such a political answer. That was great.
How old are
34.
you?
I'm walking
Okay.
around with
And
death
what have
threats.
you accomplished? And what have you? Are you a senator?
For my first run, I don't think I did too bad.
You did
I gotta
horrible.
agree.
12.
I
What
gotta
would
agree
be
with him
that?
here.
If 1.5% in 12th place is not terrible, what would be
How much
bad?
money did I spend? How much money did I spend? How many
have no
how many
idea.
volunteers did I have a month?
Nobody cares how much money you spent. You lost. That's what matters. And you didn't even come close to winning. You didn't even get more than 2% of the vote. Who cares how much money you spent? That's not what it's about.
We're working on getting that percentage up, but we
I
found
wish
affidavits coming in. Well,
I
thank
wish
you.
you
I wish you luck.
And I'm sure that that's in good faith, considering that you were gloating about me thinking I came in.
It's
with
not in
21
good faith. I'm
votes.
being sarcastic. I
Well, no
think you're
kidding.
going nowhere fast.
And sorry,
It's even funnier when you think he's a Mossad double agent trying to rise through the ranks and he's losing at the 19-year-old.
sarcasm is a tool of a coward and a weakling. Passive
No,
aggressiveness is
okay, I'll be very straightforward. I think you're stupid. I think you're not very intelligent. And I think you make people like me look bad. People
Okay,
who are
have you been tested for
standing
intelligence,
against
Nick?
it being
Okay,
effective
so
by
Mr.
what?
Criticism. What have you been tested for intelligence there, Fuentes? You think I'm dumb, right?
Yeah, I do think you're dumb. I don't
Okay.
really believe in intelligence tests. I believe in
Oh, you
I
don't?
believe that
Okay.
actions speak
Okay.
louder than words.
So let's just randomly pick who gets to go to our STEM classes and stuff at the elite universities, right?
No, I
Let's
just
draw from
believe
a hat.
that if
So
you're
you
telling
believe
me
in
that
intelligence
you
tests,
quit
huh?
your job because you read a couple of chapters of Culture of Critique, you're telling people that you probably won 400,000 votes in California.
I
Look,
believe
it
so,
doesn't
yeah.
take a test to say you're not a very smart person. And maybe if you are, you have no place in politics. You have no
I
place
think
doing
I
this
have
kind
a
of thing.
relatively place
You're
in politics.
doing far more harm
I said
to the
that I was
cause of
interested
good
in
people
running
than
for
you're
the
doing good.
presidency. Hold on, I said I was interested in running for the presidency. Hours later, I got the top maximum contribution someone can give.
Wow. There you have it, folks. President Little, 2020. Don't hold your breath.
Hold on, are you going to make fun of Ron Paul too? How many people did
Yeah.
he wake up?
Yeah.
Did he win?
You don't need to win.
Yes, you do, though.
Yes, you
Hey,
do.
dumbass,
do.
have you ever heard of an educational candidate? So you think Ron Paul's worthless?
What did you hear about that in Richard Spencer's YouTube video? I know you did. I know exactly where you got that from, you dumbass. You have to win.
I'm not the only one.
Richard
I'm not
Spencer,
the only
who
one.
I personally like,
This kid's a cartoon.
has no power.
He's a cartoon.
Okay, and we wish
His
that.
fucking evil genius. That's his brand. His evil genius cartoon.
Well,
Oh god.
we wish
So
that
you're
the
just gonna
Berlin
tear
Power
everyone
did
down
that.
that goes out and exposes
I'm
himself.
not tearing him down. I'm saying
yeah.
that for all
job.
that we can talk
Hey,
about.
Fuentes,
educational
who else don't
campaigns,
you like?
It doesn't mean
why don't you
anything.
attack Nayland
You
now?
don't have
I
power.
tell you what, why don't you attack
Doesn't
Nayland now? Go ahead.
Anything
attack
if you don't have
Nayland.
power. I did attack
Go ahead.
Nayland.
Okay,
I'll attack
and I'm
Nayland.
sure
Yeah.
you attack everyone because you're a dirty little cocksucker coward. Sit there in your fucking elevated position, you got yourself up. Oh, I'm a critic. I'm a critic.
Meltdown mode.
Do you know how many emails I
Meltdown
get
mode.
from little insects like you saying this is what
Meltdown
you do,
mode.
this is what you're doing wrong? No,
This is a
fuck
great look for you.
No.
Wow, the senator. It doesn't take much to make the Senator Little completely melt down. You're going to have to work a little harder on your grit if you want to make it in politics, my friend. If a
I'm making
teenager
a funny
advancing
point.
you a little bit makes you melt down,
I think I got more votes
how
per
did you
dollar
make
spent
it
than
in the
anyone
Marines
else.
if getting vanced a little bit by a teenager makes you melt down? It's pathetic. It's sad.
I'm trying to point out that you are a teenager and all you do is criticize. So
True.
you're ultimately the problem.
This is
'Cause
the
every
real
time
culture
someone
of
steps
critique right
forward,
here. This is the real culture of
so every time someone steps forward and risks
Life-changing
life and
book.
liberty, you come down. You want to
Life-changing
take some
man.
hits at Cantwell now too?
No, I.
Yes, we do actually.
He does that on his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Case closed.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Look, Pat, look, listen.
Yeah, go
listen.
ahead.
I criticize people who lose. If you do well, if you win, if you succeed, I like people like that. If you don't, I don't like that. And
So
I think
you're-
we should be critical of people that
So
lose.
you're one of those people that waits until a battle is decided, and because I didn't
No.
come in first once, so
No.
I'll never. My political career is over, right?
No, I
Let's frame this in
volunteered.
a way.
Hey, listen,
I reserve the right to just make fun of everyone. And ultimately, why did you delete my comment where I challenged you to a stream? Was it
because I'm not going to let you use
Why did it
my
become-
platform.
it
I'm not
became
going to
a
let you
content.
use my platform.
So Nick, I'm not gonna let you talk because this is my platform and I was on first. No, fuck that. Somebody made a comment and it became the most popular comment, and your pussy ass deleted it because you
Deleted.
can't handle criticism.
No, I can handle criticism, but I
know
have
that.
built up this platform over a couple of years, and I'm not going to let it be.
And I built this
hijacked by somebody
campaign,
like
and I
yourself.
built this campaign from scratch. I was a full-time
And you have
student
so
until
much to
a
show
month ago.
for it.
You fucking
You have
insect.
so much to show
nobody.
for it, right? What do you have to show for it, Little?
I have a loyal following and a donor base. And I
he has
have
a-
a-
Face.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of based anti-Semitic minorities, Nick.
Wait, but do you have a Patreon, Patrick? Do you have a Patreon that I
I
can
don't
donate
need
to?
one. I'm not in this for money. Unlike you, I'm not out there trying to
You
get
think I'm
laughs
in it for money?
No, I'm not in it for money. This is
I
constantly.
said, do you
free
think
flow.
I'm in it for money?
How much are you making?
I'm not a lot, my friend. I was never
Kanye.
making 120
Kanye
grand, so I can tell you that much.
Well, then you're obviously someone that needs to go out there and try and establish something in life.
That's what
Gotta
I'm
pull pull yourself up by the bootstraps, Nick.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Look,
Go
look,
fight
Pat.
for Zog for 4 years. and
When,
then,
when did you start working, Nick?
I started on what? When did I start working generally?
Yeah.
Like when I was 17.
Okay. Great. What did you do?
I worked in a warehouse.
Okay. I started washing dishes when I was 14. I was enlisted in the Marine Corps. You start small. I was promoted to sergeant
smart.
within 4
You
years,
start
which most
little.
Marines don't achieve.
Patrick
That's
Little.
great. That's great.
All right. So
Yeah, no,
here's
you've
the
got a
thing.
great record of service, but I mean, you had something. Well, here, if I could extend an
I
hour.
had nothing. I started with nothing, Nick. I started
Okay.
with me. Hold on. When you got kicked off from Twitter, have you been kicked off from Twitter yet?
No.
Okay. When I got kicked off from Twitter, I didn't just sit around bitching about it on Discord. I got in front of the Twitter building, denied the Holocaust, and dared the Jews to arrest me when I landed in Vienna. Hold
just
on.
when I
It was
try
the
and extend an
beginning of
hour,
it.
bro.
Launched my political career. That 4chan fucking loved it. And then I started naming the Jew everywhere. And you know what? They couldn't shut it down. They couldn't shut it down. I've had Jews attack me. I don't wear a vest. I don't carry any fucking weapons. I just go out there and I name the Jew. And I created a movement out of thin air. I was a full-time...
Bro, this guy is so cartoony. Like, he's like, I go out there and I name the. He goes into a Jewish bagel shop and he goes, "You're a Jew, aren't you?" And they go, "Do you want cream cheese, bro?" And they go, and he tries to fight them and shit. This is the leader of the Little movement.
student. I was doing this in my spare time. I
Are
don't
you
know.
done? Are you done? I'd like to extend an olive branch to you.
I've had volunteers for a month, and I've caused the Jews to completely shit themselves.
Yeah, they're terrified of you. They're terrified of you. I'm sure when they control 95% of media, social media, which you allege, I'm sure they're just terrified of a guy who got 1.5%. They're shaking.
Do you deny that they completely control the media? Do you deny
I think that if you look at the 6 corporations which control 95% of media, 5 of them are owned by Jews. I don't deny that at all. I did a whole show actually with Laura Loomer about it. She's Jewish. She was more than willing to admit it. But here, I was trying to extend an olive branch, which is to say this. You're a hardworking guy. You say you start washing dishes when you're 14. You have a great record of service. You had a job where you were making money and all that. And this is my problem. This is what I see so often.
Shouldn't have read that book.
In this movement. You had resources. You were in the Marines, so you had respectability, legitimacy. If you came forward as somebody who was America first, but you were optical, and you say that's for cucks, but if you were optical,
fucking cuck. Yeah, that is for
you
cuck.
would be able to go much further. But now you've got no resources.
Look at the
All
people
you've
that have
got
been
is a
most
sad
successful.
internet following on Gab. You're not going to be able to do anything with that. And it's
That's
sad.
complete
It's a sad
fucking
thing to
horseshit.
see.
You know what? If I ask for someone to make a meme, I get 1 million of them. I ask for somebody to get information done for me, I get it.
That's
you know
power.
What? Don't make fun of 4chan. 4chan is very powerful, dude.
4chan is a cesspool now. It used to be good in 2016, but you know as well as I do that it's been just completely infiltrated. You know,
4chan was always
knows.
gay.
Yeah,
bro.
and you know what? You have to counter-signal the JIDF trolls. Guess why it's bad? 4chan has gotten worse because there are so many. The moment you have an article about me, it's 1 million Jews saying fed, 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 fed.
Or it's just regular people who think you're. Have you ever stopped and thought you're a Marine, so you served the government, and now you come out so strongly. You say that you read a couple of chapters of your book, so you quit your job. None of this sounds fishy to you. None of this sounds. You would have to be Jewish to imagine this.
What did you feel when you woke up to the Jewish question?
Well, it wasn't so much waking up so much as it was I was a young guy, so I was relatively uninformed about politics compared to most people.
So here's the other. So I'm a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I joined the Marine Corps thinking that Israel's our greatest ally. I was a hardcore constitutional conservative. I join the military. I think Israel's the greatest thing. I go to Afghanistan. People die.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up to the JQ when I get back, and I'm fucking livid. What don't you get about that?
I
There are people
understand.
that wake up to this shit. Paul Ryan. When Nayland woke up, he couldn't contain himself. He bursted like a flare.
Yes.
We all saw.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Understand what it is to have been lied to have been tricked, to have been used and abused. Do you understand the level of rage that a prior service guy that is deployed in wars? I mean, that's why I'm saying, dude, if you don't get it, people have fucking died for these fuckers.
Sure.
They control our government. They get us into war after war. And if you want to belittle that, man, I got to tell you something.
That's not what I belittle. I don't belittle that.
When we wake up the Southeast, when we wake up the Protestant Christians in the Bible Belt, they're going to be 10 times as pissed as I am.
Patrick, I understand that. I understand that completely. I do shows all the time about Israel, the Israel lobby, the clean break memo. I know full well. I didn't serve, so I don't have that much of an emotional reaction as you, because I'm just looking at the facts. But here's the problem. You can have an emotional reaction. I mean, you're entitled to that, of course.
And this is how you fucking lead.
No.
No. If you don't feel rage at what is being done to your
calculated. You have to be. See this.
No, fuck that. You get up there
you're like a little girl who can't control your emotions. There's passion.
Hold on. You want to call me a little girl again?
Yeah. You're acting like a little
baby. You want to call me a little girl again?
I will. You're acting like a little girl.
Will you say it to my fucking face?
I don't want to get punched. No. But you are acting like a little girl. Whether you hit me or not is irrelevant.
No, you insult me as a little bitch who's achieved nothing in your life.
I said
and
you're
you have to
acting
say
like
your
a
shit to
little
my
girl,
fucking
which
face.
you are.
No, you call me a little girl again. Let's meet
You're
up
acting
sometime,
like
buddy.
a little girl. You are.
You want to step into a ring with
control.
me, you little fuck?
I don't actually. I don't.
All right.
You're twice my
Little
size,
fuck.
probably, right? I don't know. How big
Yeah,
are
I'm
you?
twice the man you are. I don't know.
Bro, I get so much shit from the right when I say this, but I don't think I've ever met a Marine, a veteran that's not cringe. You know, and I come from a military family, right? Shout out my older brother. But yeah, they're very cringy people.
know what the fuck you are.
Yeah, you're
All
a
I know
real
is
hero.
you've never proven yourself, or
You're a
you
real
sit
hero.
back and criticize people.
You're a real hero.
Then
Yeah.
You should sit
Tell
back
everyone about it
and
on
look.
Gab. Tell everyone about it on. I'm sure you'll get a lot of upvotes.
What,
for
are you
this
making
on
fun of
Gab.
everyone that's been kicked off from Twitter, you
I
little
am.
shit?
I am. Everyone on Gab. Yeah, a lot of real
Jesus
winners on
Christ.
there. No, Patrick, I didn't mean for it to get this bad, but I'm trying to explain to you very
Then
calmly.
stop being a passive-aggressive bitch.
I think I'm being pretty straightforward with you. You can't let your emotions get control of you. You can have emotions. You can use them to motivate you. But to say, well, I was just really
with the
mad.
mainstream media? Have you
You
seen
have
me
to
with the
think.
mainstream media? I fucking tear them apart, and they don't know what to do. I made a
Whoa.
news crew melt down in front of the fucking Bay Bridge.
No. They made sure everybody saw that clip of you because it made you look bad to normal people.
Do you know how many different sentences they had to chop up to make that clip?
It didn't matter. They did it, and they showed it. They were not hiding that clip, Patrick. I saw it all over my
And
timeline.
what do you think
Record
people
amount
will
of white
see? What do
nationalists
you
running
think
for
people will
office.
think? What do you think people will think when they go and look at the actual interview and see?
They're not going
that thing
to
up?
do that. They're not
They
going
are
to do
doing
that.
it.
You're
And
so
especially the
wrong
non-ones.
about that. You're so wrong about that. And it's sad because
You have to make sure the Jewish media doesn't frame you as bad, right? Huh?
no, you should just give them exactly what they want. You should give them exactly what they want, Patrick. Keep on giving them exactly what they want.
Nick, they're gonna call you Nazis anyways. So
Yeah, so you might as well
You make
strap on
fun
the
of
freaking
trannies,
armband.
they call you a Nazi, dude. You need to drop this fucking optic shit or hold back from criticizing people. Do you think what I'm doing right
I
here
don't take
is going to
advice
stop?
from losers. Sorry.
Oh,
I don't take it. I don't take advice
Sure.
from people less
Yeah,
successful than
you're-
me.
all right, and I don't fucking take criticism from little bitches that have never achieved anything in their
You don't have to take it, but I mean, it doesn't change
No,
whether
I'm
it's
not
true or
gonna
not.
take it. That's why if you want
Okay.
to fucking say this shit, I say it to my fucking face.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. You're obviously an
I go out-
unstable person.
I go out
You're
into
an
hostile
unstable
territory.
man.
I go out into Anti-Fox Central. I go into Oakland. I go wherever. I don't wear a weapon. I don't have security. I don't wear a vest. You know how many people have told me I need to start wearing a vest? You know what? Sometimes you just need to fucking man up.
You're an asset for the federal government. They'll protect you. They'll protect you at all costs.
You seriously believe
Look,
that?
listen, Patrick. As Ben Carson said, you have a brain. You've got to use it. You can't just let your emotions get the best of you. I know it's
Shut up, Ben
frustrating.
Carson. Let's go.
It makes you angry to see what's happening to our country. But we have to be tactical. We have to be smart about how we approach the problems and not just go out. Look, when I went to the Leadership Institute, this was like the belly of the beast for the conservative establishment. People pay millions of dollars for these kinds of trainings, for these
Hold on,
kinds
is that the thing outside Las Vegas?
No, this was in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, there are a bunch of those. Yeah, I know. There are a bunch
Yeah,
of
they
corporate
pay
exams.
millions of dollars.
I went to one of those too, and that's
Okay.
just something to fluff you up and get your
No.
I've been
Well,
to one
there's
of
a
those
lesson here. There's a lesson here. The first thing that they taught everybody was that just because you are right doesn't mean that you will succeed. I think it was called the Sir Galahad theory of politics. Just because you're telling the truth, just because you're right, doesn't mean you're going to win. You actually have to have strategy. You actually have to think about your approach. And so what happened with you, what happened with Nealon, is you got some kernels of truth that weren't heard before or weren't popular. And rather than digesting them and integrating them into a comprehensive worldview and a strategy, it was just, literally running up to people on the street with the microphone. Did you know that 60% of Harvard graduates are?
To be fair, he also entrapped them in a car via Uber, which was genius.
He's Travis Bickle. He's literally Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. Come home from the war, start getting, great rain's going to come and wash the filth off the streets.
Here's the thing, Nick. I'm openly pro-white, and I'm well received by the ethnic and religious minorities of this state, and I'm openly pro-white. You go out with your conservative approach and try and win these people over. You've got a different audience, and your market is saturated. Mine is not.
That's simply not true. That's just, obviously your audience is saturated because we can look at the ballot. But there are more people out there. Here's an example. You brought up that study, which I saw, which
The
said that
Hillel
more
study.
than, what's that?
The Hillel study with the 67%, not 60%.
No. the one that said that more than 50% of white people feel they're discriminated against, right?
55%, yeah.
Right. There you go, 55%. So 55% of white people say they feel discriminated against. After Charlottesville, 9% of people said they supported alt-right ideas. So here you have a gulf of, what is that, 46% of people that say that they are discriminated against, but they don't support the alt-right. This is the chief problem.
When have I ever said I was alt-right?
What's that?
I'm not alt-right.
Okay, not alt-right, but broadly white nationalist. They disapprove of that messaging.
I don't identify as white nationalist.
You don't have to.
Do you know what my ballot designation was?
What was it?
Civil rights advocate.
Oh, maybe that explains why you got as many votes as you did, actually.
After every single Jewish media outlet called me the worst thing since fucking Hitler and a Nazi and all this shit. No, dude. It's because I was able to reach out to people regardless of race.
But you didn't,
or
though.
creed.
You didn't reach anybody on the scale that you would have needed to actually win the election.
Yeah. I started off this with nothing. I was just a guy in front of Twitter naming the Jew during the.
What do you have now?
I have more votes than.
He has anonymous memesters, Nick. I'd be careful. They're gonna Photoshop you.
Look.
Anonymous Legion. Okay.
Well, hold on here, just a second. How many people did I beat, and how much money did they spend?
That's not important. If you
Why
lose,
is it not
you lose.
important? Hold on.
Because
So if someone has $5 in their campaign and they come in fourth, that's still nothing, right, Nick?
They still lost. Are they a senator, Pat?
What the hell have you ever done? So you're calling
No,
Ron
I'm
Paul
not
a
running
loser?
for Senate. You are. That's the difference. And look, I understand where you're coming from because I was there too as a teenager when I started hearing these ideas. And I wanted to tell everybody all the facts and all the things I...
Could you imagine how offensive that is to say to someone? Like, bro, 40-year-old man, I have your problems too in your career. I dealt with them when I was 15, 16 going through puberty. Like, dude, imagine how little is
new. And then I saw what happened. I saw the human cost. I came back to reality, essentially. And you're far from it, man. I really hope that after you digest all this information and you see, maybe you'll never see it, but maybe you see what's actually going on here. I hope that you'll come back and say, you know what? Nick was right. Optics are important, but this is not the way, my friend. I don't know what you see happening in the country where your course will lead us to victory or will lead us to a better country. I just simply don't see it.
I've never seen your approach work. They tried this with
Donald Trump. Donald Trump. There's your approach.
How many campaign promises has he kept that weren't to Israel? Any material ones? We got the wall. We got.
Well, that's what
hold on. I talked for 1 second. I just let you.
Okay, go ahead.
I just let you give like a.
What was your campaign promise? Like to expel Jews?
No.
Like just to expose them? Then like that's not.
Have you read my fucking platform, dude? Have you read my platform?
No, no, I'm not gonna lie. Once I found out that you were just naming the Jew, I was like, yeah, like that's retarded. Like, what do you like? I get it, but if
you know what every Islamic center in the state just about has sent to me? A copy of my platform with a picture of the fruit.
If you're trying to win, don't appeal to minorities. That's a little tip. You can take that.
Hey, fucktard, do you know what percentage of the population under age 30 in California whites are?
No.
Less than 30, dumbass. So, yeah, don't appeal to minorities.
That is quite the way to talk, Senator Little.
No. I'm dealing with smug little fucks. You guys are nothing.
I mean, you're on my show.
Yeah.
I'm on your show, and I'm saying fuck you.
Okay, that's great. I mean,
he doesn't take any shit from anyone, Sean.
I could tell. I'm waiting for the duel challenge.
Yeah.
But like, do you talk to like normal
hold on.
people?
You realize that's how fucking the Jews got stopped from setting up the Federal Reserve the first fucking time. You realize it was a duel that fixed that shit. So don't make fun of our fucking traditions.
This is literally LARP.
He's actually making the argument that he's gonna duel some rabbi to fix the problem. What's the argument? Someone explained this part. I used to not even laugh at this part because I thought this guy's ill. He's like mentally ill. What is you're gonna imagine 2016 dueling someone. What does that even mean?
LARPing, dude.
Okay.
Are we
It's
gonna
not
dress
LARPing
up
if
in
you
our
step into
colonial
a-
outfits and duel each other now?
No. You want to call this LARPing? What happened the last time someone fucking attacked me? I put them into a fucking hot dog cart. It isn't LARPing. It's called being a goddamn man, you
Yeah, smashing people. That's what people want to see in their senator. They
Yes,
want to see them
they
getting
do.
into street brawls.
Hold on.
Hot
You
dog
know
carts.
what what the founding fathers used to do when someone fucking insulted them?
240 years ago. Tell me.
Hold on. You don't believe in the
tell me.
founding principles of this country? You don't think that Thomas Jefferson was a good guy? You don't?
Yeah, let's go dump a bunch of tea into the harbor after we're done dueling. We're not LARPing.
Hold on. No, men settle their issues. It's only in a Jew-controlled society where options like this are precluded.
What? So wait a minute. So you're saying that prior to Jewish domination of America, there was not debate, there was not.
Men
It was
were allowed
just-
to fight back then. Back then, if you insulted a politician and you were another politician, if you slandered someone's wife, they'd challenge you to a fucking duel. And you're making fun of that.
Folks.
But
I
it's
am
part
making
of it's
fun
part
that.
it's part of tradition. If there were arguments in courts in medieval Europe, people fucking dueled with a sword to the death.
I mean, we used to be
mean-
able to fuck 14-year-olds too. So, I mean, if you really want to bring in the whole tradition argument, I don't think that you could admit
All right.
that either.
On that note, let's hear him out.
Well, yeah. Tell me,
All right.
tell me how the Jews outlawed dueling. Tell me what. Do you have any?
Have you ever
Not nitpicking, but my problem with Nick has always been the people around him. They don't make America first look cool, right? Same like Andrew Tate's audience, and like I don't know. I'm an optics. I'm a visual person, and like remember Trump got the pretty girl Kaylee or whatever her name is. Like the whole team got to look correct. Like you know what I mean?
ever read The Goddamn Authoritarian Personality? Have you heard of
No.
Marcuse? Have you heard of the Frankfurt School?
I've heard of the Frankfurt School, sure.
Okay, get back to me after you read Culture of Critique.
Well, no, you tell
He
me.
says Nick gets no pussy. Actually, there's girls in like his Discord that would just literally wait 4 hours a day just to get on a call with him to try and, hey Nick, I'm not a whore anymore and I just want to get married, and they'd like try and win him over. And he'd had a bunch of them too, and he'd do like big panels with his whole Discord. Remember when he used to stream the whole Discords? Like, and he's not awkward with women. Even older women he can talk to. You can see him on the Prolit show. That's why I think he's a fake cell. I don't think he's a real incel. Like, I've seen too much.
You made a claim. The Jews made
so
it so
any
that
type of
dueling
any
is
type
impossible.
of any type of belief in a strong father figure has been systematically demonized in our schools and culture making institutions since the Frankfurt School slowly did its march through our institutions.
That's
now, you
an
don't believe me?
interesting extrapolation.
No, it's pretty much a paraphrasing of the intent of an entire chapter of Kevin McDonald's book. I mean, if you haven't read this book, what the hell are you doing?
Of course, I've read that book, but I think it's kind of a stretch to say that.
Overrated.
Any of it. The
Kind of a
attacking of masculinity. Yeah. Have you read The Authoritarian Personality?
I haven't. No.
How the hell? You don't understand how the Jews deconstructed the patrilineal society that we had.
Ugh.
You want to make fun of me for looking back to a society
No,
before this.
I'm asking a pretty simple question, and you're saying you haven't read this.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying that.
because you don't have an answer. I mean,
I'm not only am I answering it,
your entire ideology.
I gave you an answer, and when you didn't understand it, I gave you the context where you could understand it.
I asked you, like, how did Jews outlaw dueling, and for what purpose? And you said, "Have you even read Culture of Critique, bro?" There was a whole chapter. Like, I understand.
And that wasn't the last question. That was a string of questions. So how did Jews outlaw white men being men? Simple. They demonized them. They said anyone. They made it so that rebelling against your parents instead of mimicking your father was cool.
I don't doubt that that's true. I mean, that happens in the media, but to say that
in all
we
of
don't
our
have
culture,
duels we don't have duels anymore because of the Jewish media. It's just,
what you're saying is
crazy
absurd.
talk.
If you can't
This is
see
crazy.
how things like being masculine and dealing with your issues like
I
men,
can see that. I can see that, but you're saying
it's the
something
ultimate
entirely
form
different.
of that. It's the ultimate fucking form of that. There's nothing more masculine.
So we don't
than
have
that.
well, We don't have boxing. We don't have.
The reason
football.
why people couldn't just do character assassinations and snide comments and passive aggressiveness back in the day is because they get socked in the fucking face or challenged to a duel.
Interesting.
It's true.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, hey, you know,
That's how shit worked when this country was founded, and it took the Frankfurt School, it took critical theory to deconstruct that ideal
You're a real
man.
hero. You're a real hero. You're just like, who is that other one? Augustus Invictus. It's all these adult men who are complete failures. I give a pretty straightforward, honest criticism, and they all want to beat the shit out of a teenager. It's just very telling. I mean, you
You call me a bitch.
Yeah.
You
No,
know
I didn't call
you
you
know
a
what
bitch.
happened when you
I
called
didn't call
someone
you
a
a
bitch
bitch.
or a
I
little
said you
girl
were
back in the day? No,
I
hold
said
on.
you were
No,
acting
no,
like a little girl, which is
You
very
couldn't
different.
just insult someone's honor.
You are a
like
little
that and fucking
bitch.
Get away with
I
it.
said you were acting like a little girl because you are, though. I mean, you yourself said I'm
No,
motivated
hold on, you
only
little
by
bitch.
emotions.
You don't get to say this shit to me.
Shut the
I
fuck
don't
up,
get to say
bitch.
this to you.
I do.
Shut the
Watch
fuck up,
me.
bitch. I'm in
Watch me.
security.
Okay, will you agree to step into a ring with me?
No,
Oh my-
I don't
You're
want
a
to.
fucking bitch.
What?
Okay. I
Wait,
don't want to.
so-
I don't.
Bro, you guys are 100 pounds off. Bro, what? That's like Deontay Wilder going up to fucking Mr. Little and saying, if you don't step in that ring, nigga, I'm gonna fuck your wife. Like, that is elite. You're trying to fight a teenager, right? He just got out of prom and he's fighting Little.
Want to fight a mentally unstable person like yourself.
I'm a fucking veteran of Afghanistan. I'm not unstable. Someone fucks. You go fuck with a Marine. You go call a Marine names. You see how.
This is why I'm convinced, I don't care how much education you have, if you're this Mr. Smarty Pants and you're still getting triggered by, like, trolling, there's autism here. He clearly is suffering from autism.
That fucking
Okay,
The Marines
all
are
right.
gay,
Marines
like-
are fags. Fuck the troops. So you not only lost
Whoa.
the election, you lost the
You
Afghan
just
war.
said fuck the troops, and I say fuck you.
Cool.
Rage quit. Who's the bitch now?
Oh no.
Now, I kind of feel bad for showing this because this is a bad look. Like, who are these fucking nerds, bro? These guys are not it. All right.